Hello, welcome. If you're new to my channel, I'm Jade, and if you're returning, welcome back. Today, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. It is a writing video, which I have quite a few vlogs on my channel doing writing content. Today, I'm going to be doing a writing routine, specifically not my writing routine, but Tamora Pierce's writing routine. If you don't know who Tamora Pierce is, oh my god, I am so honored to be introducing her to you. Tamora Pierce is a fantasy novelist, and she is why I love reading, writing, and fantasy in general. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about her, and then we're going to look at her routine, and then I'm going to try and emulate it. The first day will be her pure writing routine, where I try and do exactly her writing routine, and the second day will be kind of my spin on her writing routine that is more curated specifically to me and my needs as a writer. But first, let's just talk a little bit about Tamora Pierce. My personal favorite books within the Tamora Pierce world is the Tortall universe, and specifically I love the Lioness Quartet, which starts with Alana, the First Adventure. This follows a girl who trades places with her twin brother when they are supposed to go off to their individual schools. She is supposed to go to the mage school, and her brother is supposed to go be a knight. Neither one of them are interested in that, so due to the fact that they are twins, Alana goes to go be a knight and her brother goes to be a mage. And one of the major themes of this book is that there are no women knights, and so Alana is trying to find her place both in society as well as trying to understand what it is to even be a girl. These were one of the most important books of my childhood. I have read them so many times. This is my original copy. There's other books within the Tortall world. Wild Magic, this is also my original copy. And then Protector of the Small, alongside other spin-offs that I have, but I just did a book haul recently, so all of my books are kind of piled up on the floor. For the sake of simplicity, there is the Song of the Lioness Quartet, the Pekka Cooper series, the Immortal series, Trickster's Choice duology. There are so many Tamora Pierce books, and they take place primarily, I believe, in two different worlds. She has not finished the second book in a duology that's actually a spin-off of Wild Magic, following a different character. I don't want to give anything away because, yes, these books are old, but they are also classic, and I think part of the fun of reading them is following her journey. And then this is my book, The Solstice Court, which, again, I at least wouldn't have this book. I would not be a reader or writer as I am today. Who knows what I would have turned into an alternate reality. In this reality, this book would not be in this reality without Tamora Pierce. I definitely thought it would be a really great way just show my appreciation for all she's done for me. And then also I am writing the sequel right now to this book, and I am at a point where I just feel like I need to kind of shake it up a little bit. Doing someone else's writing routine seemed like the way to go. I'm not going to use this as a weapon. I'm going to set this down. More about Tamora Pierce herself. She was born December 13th. Yes, I looked it up, in 1954. And she was born and raised in Pennsylvania. She has two sisters, one who she actually based Alana off of, and a lot of her inspiration when she's writing her books comes from real people. So she will see things throughout her life and it will spark something in her, and then she puts it into her books, including current events and political ideology, but she packages it all in a really easily consumed way. I've read a couple of different articles, some Reddit forums, she did a Q&A, she's done some other interviews, and I've compiled that to look at, but I need to condense it down. So we're gonna go ahead and watch an interview with her. It's only 3 minutes long, and I'll definitely pick out the juiciest parts that are relevant to this vlog, and then we're gonna go ahead and scaffold the routine and figure out what we're actually doing. I took some notes, but I need to take a lot more before we get started. And this came out April 5th, 2014, so this is her classic writing routine is what I'm going to call it. And then I will also talk about an article that she did which was a little more current. But first, let's watch the classic Tamora Pierce writing routine.
We all have our little rituals and things before we get going. My day generally starts out, I'll go into my office, I'll look through my email, and then I have things that I do. I check the astronomy picture a day page, cute overload, and the world earthquake map to find out where the earthquakes are happening. And then sometimes I check ICANN has cheeseburger, and then I check the webcam on the volcano Popocatépetl in Mexico. Then I check my two news sources, BBC Online and MSNBC Online for my news. Lately, in the last 10 months, I've been doing a lot of political blogging. I don't think it's going to go away entirely. But by the time I've done all of that, it's usually getting around 3 o'clock. And also there are errands. I've been in physical therapy for my shoulder and my knee lately, which is lots of fun. Around about 3 or 4 o'clock, I'm ready to start work. The way I do it is not by hours. The way I work is by page limit. I have to make my page limit every day or I can't watch television. And I like television. So when I'm starting out on a book, my start speed is usually about 5 pages a day because I'm setting up characters, I'm setting up the plot, I'm setting up the themes. And then as I get going, I'm up to 6 or 7 pages. And this is the speed I'm at now after something like 30 years of writing as a published adult. In the beginning, I was happy if I could do 1 or 2 pages a day, but I've been at this a long time. Usually I've been thinking about a book for a long time before I sit down to write it. In the middle, I'm going to 6 or 7 pages a day. By the time I hit what the people in the radio company I helped to start in the 80s used to call the Pierce juggernaut, which is I get everything all lined up in a row and all the little climaxes have happened and now there's this huge juggernaut of plot teetering on the edge and all I have to do is stand aside and let it drop and it goes barreling down on the characters and there's the earthquake and the forest fire and the war and the ground opens up and the palace collapses inside and the rats reign supreme over all. Then I'm doing 14 to 20 pages a day, and I'm just sitting there typing madly, cackling like a fiend and saying, good stuff, good stuff. And I still manage to get it all done before my favorite TV shows come on. And what I then do is also every day, my friend Bruce Coville, who is the author of Dark Whispers, The Song of the Unicorn, My Teacher's an Alien, Jeremy Thatcher, Dragon Hatcher, Bruce and I read together. So he'll bring over what manuscript he's working on, and then I'll read 5 or 6 pages of what I'm doing, and he'll give me notes, and he'll read 5 or 6 pages of what he's doing, and I'll give him notes. So we do that every day as well, and that's part of our process.
Okay, that's a phenomenal writing routine. I wrote a lot of different websites down. Most of them I have not ever heard of. That's completely on me. I also watched an entire, it's like an hour-long interview. There's one scene out of the interview that gave me a little bit more understanding of what she's doing in the beforehand, which is going to add how immersive this is. This is what the interviewer asked.
Are there any favorite foods or drinks that you have to have with you when you're writing?
Well, I always have to have my water, ice water, and I drink large amounts of it, always have. Now and then that I'm better off, I occasionally have soda too. But that's more for watching television. And discovered that library conventions and bookseller conventions have events at breakfast. And I had been a lifelong loather of coffee. My husband drank it by the bucket, couldn't abide it, couldn't live with it. But I was falling asleep at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I started drinking coffee then. And everyone loves to watch me drink it in public because I don't like it. I knock it back, like some people knock back whiskey. I knock back coffee. I hate the taste, and I've been drinking it for over a decade now. I break for lunch.
I love coffee. I love all caffeinated beverages, but I will only be sticking to 1 cup of coffee, and I'm going to just have it black, as well as the rest of the day I'll just be doing water. Ice water specifically, because I also love ice water. I don't like when my water has no ice. And I'm glad to hear that she eats lunch. I will also eat lunch. So that was that. I also read an article, which I will of course post it down below. This was a more updated article that came out after her book Tempest and Slaughter, which is her most recent book. The next book in that duology hasn't come out yet, and it says that she starts by feeding the animals, indoor and outdoor. She has breakfast. Fantastic. So glad to hear that because I will be eating breakfast. She checks on appointments, does appointments, talks with her assistant until about 1 or 2, and then she doesn't write until 2 or 3 p.m. again. She also writes in case you want to do this routine throughout a work week. I can't because I have work, but she usually writes Monday through Saturday or Monday through Friday if she's feeling lazy, is what she says. And then it gets down to a couple of things that I really think will texturize this writing routine for me. She says she has photos of her characters on her desks along with maps, mood boards, because she's super visual. I am also an incredibly visual person. I usually have them saved on my laptop and on my Pinterest and my phone. My wallpaper for my computer is the cover of my book because I just love looking at it. My artist, Little Liz Art, I will have her link down below. Angelo did a phenomenal job. So I'm incredibly visual. So that's good to hear. I have a mood board that I've recently made, and I'm going to show it to you because I'm very excited about it. There's a couple things I can't show you. I took them off because they're spoilery. She also mentions she has stuffed animals surrounding her. I added this one. This is Mountain Chamomile. My friend Soleil got him for me. He's a tea dragon, but I actually have like a lot of stuffed animals. You've maybe seen them in my videos in the background before, and knowing that she has that as one of her quirks, enough that it was mentioned several times, it does make me feel a little bit better about the fact that I have no intention of getting rid of my stuffed animals. We have Mountain Chamomile here for this vlog, alongside an Irish sheep. My friend got this for us. My friend Shelby from Bashful Sketches, she actually makes all of dragon related merchandise. She made me a unicorn from The Last Unicorn. She mentions that she has knickknacks and trinkets and all of these things surrounding her. At one point she calls herself a magpie for how she like collects things, and I collect things. So I have an entire area dedicated to small stones and rocks and figurines I find, acorns, actual acorns and fake acorns, and they just kind of decorate the entire top. More little fuzzy things, some amethyst, more knickknacks. I feel like I am definitely doing Tamora Pierce correctly as far as this setup goes. And then I also have this space. I can't go any further up because above this is my second book cover, but I have my map and I have my characters. I'm just so excited that she does this too. I'd be curious to know if you are also more visual. Is this something you do as a writer? Do you have visual aids, and where do you put them? Do you have them physically? Do you have them on Pinterest, digitally? What's your deal? I would love to know. And I really loved reading and finding these things out about her because they are essentially already built into this writing routine, because they are what I have and do too. So I'm going to go ahead and focus a little bit more on the classic writing routine, just because the writing routine in the more updated one was essentially the same. It had things like a game on iPad while answering emails, minimum of 2 pages. It mentioned fooling around for short periods, while the other one said more specifically that she took breaks. I have made this post-production, so I can't actually see it right now, but essentially for the pure Tamora Pierce, the classic Tamora Pierce day, which will be my tomorrow, in the morning I'm going to go into my office area and I'm going to answer emails, get some admin work done. I don't have a personal assistant, so I will not be talking to my personal assistant, but I might converse with my partner. That seems fun. And then I will check the astronomy picture a day. I will not be checking Cute Overload because I just looked it up and it looks like Cute Overloaded. It is actually gone. So it was shut down. That's very sad. I will also check World Earthquake. Icon has Cheeseburger, the volcano, specifically the volcano she brought up. Then I'm going to go ahead and read the news. It seems like she uses TV as kind of a reward or an incentive. So I'm going to try and stick away from TV and go more towards articles. So I'll be reading articles from the BBC and MSNBC. For political blogging, for me, I use Instagram. Do outreach. I usually try and find fundraisers or things going on, current events, recent events, and I'll find some things that are going on in the world. There's plenty going on to repost, to talk about. Don't know what that'll be yet, but I'll definitely do that, and I kind of already do that anyway, so I think that that's something great to add in. I'm gonna try and push my schedule so that I can actually do this around the same time as she does it, but because I wake up so early, I don't know how that'll go. I think I'm going to do 7 pages based off of what she was saying where she was in her book. And then finally it says that she shares work with her friend. I think that that's absolutely fantastic, and I recently just did a vlog where I did exactly that with my friend Soleil. Cafe writing vlog. My friend Soleil visited me and we definitely talk and chat about our work. Because of time zones, I don't think I'll be able to get a hold of my friends as easily, and my friends here I think will already have plans. You kind of have to schedule in advance to hang out with friends. My friend Lindsay lives locally, is a poet. I have a couple other writer friends that I have written with in the past. Tomorrow and the next day, I don't think I'll be able to connect with them for a writing session and have them read my work, especially since they have all read book 1 and I'd be giving them spoilers for the ending of book 2, which some might be thrilled at. I'm less thrilled at the prospect. So I won't be able to share in this vlog that I have in the past. The second day, I'll play it by ear because I don't actually know how this writing routine is going to make me feel yet. We'll ease into that. But day 1 is coming up, and we'll go ahead and get started with some coffee, which Tamora Pierce hates and has every morning. morning. It is day 1 and it is 7:30. I tried very hard to sleep in so that my morning didn't last so long because I'm trying to do the pure version of Tamora Pierce's routine first, which doesn't have me starting to write until around 3. So we're here, we're awake. I made myself coffee. I am not looking forward to it, which from my research has been Tamora Pierce's experience with coffee. I love coffee. I love tea. I love caffeinated beverages in general, but her detestment of them, but still drinking it anyway, I thought was a really respectable effort that I was going to go ahead and put in. And she said she pretty much downs it like whiskey. I just have black coffee that I intend to down like whiskey. And I gave myself a whiskey-sized portion because I don't want to down the regular allotted amount of caffeine I give myself. I also have my water bottle in the other room, which I will switch over to, and I am going to try and drink this really fast and then get started on my morning. Let's go ahead and pound this down and get going. Ooh. Fun fact, I don't like just black coffee, especially my just regular drip coffee. Not a fan, not a fan. Couple more hits of this and we're doing the Tammy Pierce writing routine. I have one very exciting email that I can't show you because it's from my cover artist. I'm gonna answer that really quick off camera, and then I'm gonna switch over to YouTube and I'm going to answer all of my comments that have built up on my other videos because I kind of let those sit during the day. I don't like to just do the quick response. I like to think about my answer and I like to actually read through the comments because people leave such nice and thoughtful comments that I like to give it the actual time of day. I don't like to just kind of do it on my commute. But first, I need to give my cover artist the okay to move forward and give me the final files. There's not going to be a cover reveal in this video, but I can't wait. Okay, with that sent, so I'm gonna go ahead and answer these comments and then check back in. Maybe also like actually brush my hair. We'll see where the day takes us.
Hi, unfortunately I lost the footage of me reacting to this part of the vlog, but essentially I went through my comments. I had a couple subscribers recommend me things, so I went through and did that. And then I moved on to the astronomy picture of the day, which was really cool and I really liked it. I didn't know it was going to be interactive and I have looked this up since. Q Overload, as I said, was shut down, and then I kind of just gushed over the fact that Tamora Pierce, it does appear to look at a whole bunch of cat memes in between like looking at all of the terrors of the world, and I just thought that that was absolutely fascinating. I also wanted to talk about the goals I had for this vlog because I lost that footage as well. I am in the climactic part of my book, much as Tamora Pierce was describing in her interview, where I'm kind of at the tumbling down moment where everything kind of has to fall into place and I'm putting all those pieces into place. So I have a series of chapters that are not officially named, but it's fog, steam, smoke, fire, and then burning. And my main goal was to get to burning by the end of this vlog, just so I could get through that climactic portion. I went ahead and finished up and then moved straight into the draft.
Oh, rough. Okay, but this is what editing Jade's for. I'm going to explain this really quickly. The footage got deleted. I tried to make it work as far as like context goes, but I don't want people to be confused as to what I did for this routine. Because Tamora Pierce usually works a 6-day work week, and I was only doing this for 2 days because I work full-time, I condensed her work week into the weekend and did mini sprints of her routine. This was all explained in the deleted clip. I have no idea what happened to it and I'm enraged. So essentially the goal was every day 7 pages, but the total for my actual day, the end of day goal when I knew I was going to finish, was 21 pages. Because I'm in the climax and everything is going crazy, that is what she describes in her video as being when she's doing 20 or so pages. I kind of just broke it down and made it 21 pages per day. That's my goal for end of days. Both days that you see here, I am trying to reach 21 pages at the end of the day, but the reason why I keep trying to stop on 7 is because I'm doing the condensed version of her entire work week.
Okay, so fog is not finished yet. I reached the 7 pages, and in order to do this purely, I finished the sentence that brought me over into the 8th page, but I am going to take a break to fool around for a short while, which is what she had said in one of her articles, is what she does when she reaches one of her page count goals for the day. And then she says she'll go back to it for at least another, at that point it was 2 pages, but since I'm doing 7, I'll go back to another about 7, and then I might goof off a little bit more more, and if I continue to goof off too much and I feel like I'm not going back to my writing, then I can set a timer. But as of right now, I very much so want to continue, and I'm going to go fool around as long as I can before I continue to write what is happening right now. I think what I'm going to do, I thought about it for a hot second, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for a walk, because Tamora Pierce uses TV as her main reward or motivation, and that's only when she's done for the day. At the end of her day, she can go ahead and watch TV. I don't think I've mentioned it in any of my videos, but I am reading Carrie Soto is back. I'm really enjoying it despite having no interest in tennis whatsoever. I'm gonna watch TV today at the end of my day as a reward, but because I know that books are going to be my reward tomorrow, I don't want to kind of use it as a reward today because I'll know it's a reward even if it's not her reward. That's where the walk comes in. We're gonna go take a walk. Back at my desk and done with my walk. It was really nice and really peaceful and very quiet. I live in the countryside, so it's incredibly quiet. I'm back at my document. It looks like 7 pages in this case, because of course it's gonna change based off block text, dialogue, double space, whatever. In this case, it was 2,133 words, and I have to say, I did not know it was that much. I did not know I wrote 2,000 words because I was just mostly focused on the page count. It was really flowing because there is a lot to kind of set up and do and a lot of description so that choreography later has the right tools. Things need to already be established so that when Kez is jumping around, it makes sense. I was doing a lot of that and it ended up being 2,133 words. Don't know how long it took, was not timing myself whatsoever. I literally just reached the page count and moving forward, and I think that seems to be the way to go with this method for sure. So I'm just gonna keep going until I do another 7. First, I'm going to finish the thought, because I really just wrote the sentence and then like backed away. Finish the thought of what's happening and then move into a bit of dialogue. The dialogue should help me page-wise because you gotta indent. Is that 7 pages? That's the other thing, is I don't know like how many pages have passed. Like I'm not really thinking like, oh, 2 page, 3 page. I just have to kind of like scroll up and see. I'm debating right now because I've only written 5 pages, but it's the end of the chapter, so I'm starting in the next chapter knowing that I'm not going to finish the chapter, and that kind of makes me a little crazy. I don't know when the next chapter will end though, so that I could end up just going, and then I'm not giving myself like the time to relax and the in-between and the goofing off. I just am noticing that this might be a little bit of a hiccup for me. I'm 5 pages. I do need to keep going. That's not a negotiable amount really, because I've decided on 7. 7 felt right, and I now know I can do 7, which could differ word count wise because that was more dialogue heavy for sure, so I don't think I got as many words. I need more pages. Okay, I don't know. I'm just talking this out. Just something I didn't think about happening is obviously not every chapter is going to be 7 pages. Fog is complete and I am on to steam, with plenty of steam myself. Okay, I am at 7 pages. I'm at 7 pages, so I'm gonna stop. I'm like stopping mid-argument, but I don't know how long this will go on because I will let it naturally flow. I'm just going to listen to what these 2 characters are yelling about in my head and then continue on. But that could take forever. That could take several pages. And because it's so dialogue heavy, because I'm not adding the movements in yet, I kind of have to see what they say first and what they need to do next. Brutal. I do not like this argument. I'm smiling, but that's because there's something wrong with me. Because this is terrible. This is awful. This is what we've all been waiting for. You can't lie that much and not have this argument. What should I do? Yeah, I'm gonna watch a YouTube video and then I'll check back in. I actually think I rewatched one of Katie Wismer's videos. She just does really great content as far as just vlogging her life while also being an author. She puts me in the zone in a very different way. I don't know how to explain it. I think she's just so very cut and dry, no nonsense. She will write, she'll do her life, and then she kind of like just gets to it. I don't know. Something about her feels very productive to me. I watched one of her videos and then I'm right back to it, so we're gonna get an argument done. I'm looking at my checklist to see how much is kind of left in Steam, just because I'm trying to figure out like what to do about like the chapter break thing. As far as word count goes, just because I think it's really interesting, so that was another 7 pages, so both of them were 7, but this time it was 1,795 words. Quite a bit less, but that's because there was so much dialogue. It is a very interesting style. Even just the fact that I'm changing up, I'm switching up the things I normally pay attention to for goalposts is kind of giving me a new dynamic feeling while I'm writing, because you can kind of start to get to the point of, you know, if you're doing 30-minute sprints, you can kind of feel 30 minutes, and so you know what it is. So as it gets to like 25 or 26 minutes, you might cut those 4 minutes short because you just are like, okay, it's been about 30 minutes, and then you look at the clock. With word count, I can feel what 1,000 words is. About 1,000 to like 1,400 is usually a scene for me. I can kind of figure out from there how many scenes are in a chapter. So if I complete a scene, I'll expect it to be on the very lowest end 800 to 900 words, and on the average about 1,400. Doing pages, I have no idea. So I really just kind of am flowing. There's no ticking clock. There's nothing internally that's telling me whether I should be done or not. I suppose I should eat lunch. We have procured lunch. We are eating gohe mochi today. Gohe mochi is hard to describe. It's rice with like peanuts and soy sauce, and it's a Gifu area specific specialty. I'm gonna go ahead and eat this, and then I'm going to write. I know I am probably past 7 pages. I'm not going to check. I'm just going to keep writing. Then I am under the protection of ignorance, which I need in order to finish this chapter, because the things that are about to happen, I need to finish this chapter. You know what? I can't talk about it. You're just gonna have to trust me, trust the process, trust Tamora, who I'm sure would tell me it was okay for me to finish this chapter. I don't have to do 7. She had a range. She was like, oh, sometimes 5 to 6, sometimes 6 to 7. She's the most chill. I'm not worried. I'm just gonna finish this chapter. Okay, everything in my body is screaming to keep going because I want to watch what happens next, but my mind is turning a little bit mushy. I know that had to have been, what is the word I'm looking for? 7. I was looking for the word 7. I know that must have been at least 7 pages. It was 9. I wasn't sure what number I was going to end up with. 9 pages. Fog and Steam combined is about 21 pages. Okay, I wrote 2,470 words, which that seems right. Mush. My brain is a little bit mushy, and I'm glad that I got so much writing in. This was a really good writing session, but I think I do need TV. Dang, Tamora. I would need TV too. The just straightforward, just writing. I took little breaks in between, but starting my day, that's what it is. It's because I front-loaded all of my brain, all of my like active brain activity. I was critical thinking at 8 a.m., you know, about the news. I was looking at earthquakes this morning. I think my brain was just on a lot sooner and revved up and going, and then to jump into creative mode. This does happen when I'm at work, but I don't have as many hours of a stretch at work. My brain is on in the morning at work, and then I do work, and I write in the pockets. I wrote as much as I would normally write in a morning session in the afternoon after doing all the brain things. Does that make sense? I don't know. I'm gonna watch TV now. Morning. Hello. I still have my head in a bun from sleeping, made some matcha, and what I kind of thought about and learned from first day, Tamora Pierce is kind of getting all of the stuff that would be bogging down her mind while she's writing done beforehand. So I'm gonna check my emails, check comments, check text messages like I did yesterday, and then I'm going to go ahead and do a little bit of beta reading. I do like critique and beta reading over on Fiverr. Not sponsored, so I'm going to get some reading done off of my plate, about 5,000 5,000 words each day of reading and commenting, which goes a lot slower because looking at the manuscript differently. Hopefully have finished my matcha. I'll have some light breakfast and toast and go ahead and watch BBC News as I regularly would. I also watch Internet Today, which is not a news show, but they gather up the news and do commentary on them, and it's a really useful resource when I need to get the roundup of what's going on in the world, but I'm on the go and on the run. I also kind of figured out she has some things that ground her before she gets writing. I don't know if she's doing this on purpose or not. Looking at the Astronomy Today, as well as keeping up to date with what is going on in the world, not just staying in the comfort zone of fuzzy kittens, but also like branching out and being like, what's happening? I think I will go ahead and just see what the astrological picture of the day is. I liked that. I thought that was cool. Some feel-good vibes. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that first, and then we'll start getting into writing, and I'll talk about what I'm gonna be doing writing-wise. I didn't update you in between doing my Fiverr word count and having breakfast, but I got my 5,000 words done. They were 5,000 pretty easy words. I'm reading 2 books right now, or 2 manuscripts. One is a very large epic fantasy. Large scale, we're talking like Robin Hobb style, and it's the second book. I did like an alpha early critique of the first book in this series, which I ended up really enjoying. It was called Binding of the 12 by Nathaniel Basil. I'll go ahead and link that down below because that's out. I really enjoyed it, and I got like to read an earlier draft. I'm going to be rereading it just to see all of the changes that he implemented. I'm also working on another manuscript that I can't talk about because they have not given me permission and they don't have a book out for me to talk about, but that's the one I read this morning. Very clean, very sharp, 5,000 words. I'm gonna take my hair out of this and then we will talk word count. Went ahead and changed my mind, actually put like clothes on and did my hair and put a little bit of makeup on. For you, that might have been jarring. For me, it was like 45 minutes to an hour, so that happened. And I guess that's part of my fooling around dawdling before getting started writing. I'm ready to write now. I'm at the moment when Tamora Pierce was talking about all of the pieces coming jumbling down and the world's exploding and crashing. That's my moment now. My world is about to crash. I'm really excited for this part, and I'm glad that I'm here and that I'm doing it while doing Tamora Pierce's routine. She is so inspirational. I am going to write 7 pages like I did yesterday, but today I'm going to write 7 pages plus the caveat of finishing the current scene I'm in. So I can finish a chapter, I can finish a scene, but I have to be at an actual stopping point. I can't just go by page number. If I write 7 pages worth, but I'm not finished with the scene, I have to go to the end of the next scene. If I'm at the beginning of a new scene, then I need to go ahead and write through to the end of that scene. I'm adding a little bit for me because it did make me feel a little nuts yesterday, starting and stopping on the 7 pages. We finished Fog and Steam yesterday. We are starting on Smoke and then Fire and then Burning. So Smoke, Fire, Burning, let's go! Only 4 pages in, but finished Smoke. Smoke is a very condensed chapter from one character's perspective as they grapple with something right before something else happens. Smoke is done. We can start on Fire. Fire will definitely carry us through to the first 7 pages, and then I'll find a scene break, the time where the scene ends, and then I'll take my first break. I've been anticipating Smoke for so long. These scenes are going really fast because I don't have to think about them. I've been thinking about them since this book's conception. I just can't wait to see it, so my hands are actually they don't feel fast enough. Hand, really. If you haven't noticed, I only write with one hand. Can't explain why. It just is the way it is. Sometimes I can drink a beverage while typing, so there's that. I cannot get the words out fast enough is essentially what I'm saying. Kezra's perspective is the one to start from. I do multi-POV, and I always go from the character that's most important to the scene or the most interesting to get the information from, and that's usually Kezra, but there are other characters that are important to this plot, and I just wrote from a different character's perspective, and I feel like we need to return to Kezra. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the last 3 pages. Okay, I reached the end of a scene, and I'm gonna go ahead and check the page count. Oh, while I'm at it, it looks like the 4 pages, which was all of Smoke, ended up being 1,149 words. This is not my average. If you've watched any of my writing vlogs in the past, Night Writes, which is really just me stealing pockets of time. They're not quite like this when I get a whole day. Some of just my cafe vlogs when I wrote practically nothing, like 280 words in like 3 hours with my friend Soleil. Any of those vlogs will show you that this is not normal for me specifically. But where I am in the book, like I said, it's just, it's going differently. So it ended up being 9 pages, 2,467 words to get to the end of that scene. How much time has passed? Oh, I didn't look. I haven't been looking. I have no idea. We're in a void right now. We are in the writing void. That brings me to my first break. You know what? I'll do this in my downtime. Carrie Soto is my end of night reward because I'm just about to finish Carrie Soto, so I can finish a book, get that done before I start my June TBR, and then I'm going to pick up from my breaks in between, my fooling around time, either Alana, which is one of my Tamora Pierce favorites, or you really are Jenga-ing. You just stay right there. First Test and the Protector of the Small. Oh, you know what? I also have the option of Wild Magic by Tamora Pierce. This is my childhood copy. It has all of my different name iterations I've had throughout my entire life, and it smells like my childhood copy. This was one of the first books I ever read, so I think I'm gonna read this one. Wild Magic is just so great, and Dane, who is the main character in this book, she's kind of like a softer main character. They all have a stubborn strength to them. All of these characters are strong female characters. While I do think Dane is strong, I also think she's very soft, and so is Kezra, my main character. Like, Kezra is a very soft main character. She's sweet, and she's thoughtful, and she's not shy whatsoever. Very much so the opposite, but she does have a lot of self-doubt. For my first little break, I'll go ahead and start Wild Magic. This is cute. I love this. I just thought of this idea on the fly, and I'll just, let's see, how many pages? I wrote 9 pages, so I'll read 9 pages. This is cute! Tammy, you and I'm feeling very good about this. I'm gonna read 9 pages and then I'll get back to writing. I reached page 10. I'm still in the middle of the first chapter and it's still really cute. This is not the starting point I would start a lot of people on, but having read the entire series, it's so interesting to just kind of just be pulled back into this world immediately and have it feel so familiar. I'm still in the chapter called Fire, but beginning of a new scene. I'm going to go ahead and go another 7 pages or more depending on where that takes me. We'll just keep doing this until we reach the end. I reached the end of Fire. I definitely can't talk about it at all. 4 pages and 908 words. I have plenty more to do here, and this next chapter, we're gonna get Burning going, and I don't know when this scene will end. I know exactly where I'm going to start. It's gotta be the whole thing, right? I don't know. Let's go. Hi, yes, I'm fine. Thank you for asking. It's almost done. The essence of that is there. I need to go back through and read, and I feel like I have to sculpt it a little bit before I go into the next chapter. This whole chapter was one scene. I was correct. It also felt incredibly long. I don't know. I'll be right with you. I'm trying to vlog this. I feel insane trying to vlog this. I feel like I am in a different reality and ripping myself into an ether where I'm going, does that make any sense? None of this makes sense. I hope this vlog flops. I hope nobody watches this vlog. Most of all, Tamora Pierce. I should turn you off. I don't know how long this is gonna take. Hi, I'm back. I'm functioning. That feels a little bit like a lie. I did finish Burning. The chapter Burning is done. I think that does make me reach my page count. That does not feel like a lie. That feels like truth. Is it truth? Great. Okay. Fire was another 4 pages to finish Fire. After that, I went into Burning. The scene halfway through Fire and Burning was 9 pages. How is that only 9 pages? 2,255 words. Okay. Yeah, no, that makes more sense. See, the number 9, I'm like, what? There's no way. Cool. I just went back through it. There were some scrambly words in there where I was like, what was this word supposed to be? My brain, my hand, and the keyboard were not all like, it was not, there was definitely a translation issue, but we figured it out. And I definitely wanted to kind of like go back through and brush it up a little bit. These poor people, that was fun to write. I mean, it probably didn't look fun. I don't know what my facial expression was. Re-entering reality from the void is a very difficult thing to do. So if I'm doing this wrong, I apologize. I'm gonna read another 9 pages of Wild Magic. I'm in like 3 different realities right now. I love how Tamora Pierce writes. It feels so effortless, and I know she puts a lot of effort into it, but it feels real. It feels like these characters are having this conversation, they're moving and reacting. There's not as many dialogue tags, there's more movement and flow, and I really like that. I tried to incorporate that into book 1, but I feel like I could learn to do it better. I'll still have 2 more pages, so... I'm on page 18 now. I need to get back. I need to get back to this and what I was doing. I have finished burning. The next section, I finished burning. Right, that was the end of like that sequence. I can't believe I finished burning. I know you witnessed me understanding and comprehending that I finished burning. I can't believe I finally got that done. This hasn't sank in yet. I'm through fog, steam, smoke, fire, and burning. I'm on to letters. Like this wasn't even, I've already completed my goal. Oh yeah, no, it's pretty late in the day. It's 4. I was thinking, I was like, I still got the whole day left. I should eat. Letters can only be like 1 page. It's a sequence of letters being thrown back and forth, but this will probably be my last. With lots of paragraph breaks. Letters is 3 pages. That's 546 words. This was the end of a scene, and it was exactly 4 pages. So that's cool. First scene of Martyr is finished, and I am finishing for the day. 7 pages complete, and the end of a scene. And obviously, you can tell I'm a bit brain tired. I'm gonna go ahead and close everything out, and then I'll close out this vlog. I finished the first chapter of Wild Magic by Tamora Pierce as my little treat for the day. And I finished so much of my draft based off of my estimation, which so far I've been about on point since the midpoint on estimating how far I'm going to get. I know what my end word count will most likely be. We're a little over 10,000 words until the end of this book. How many words did I just do? That's a great question that I'm gonna go ahead and answer for myself really quickly, because let's get a final page count. Because I think that Tamora Pierce's writing routine kind of worked for me. I really did kind of go into that other headspace with nothing else in my brain, like head empty except for this draft. In the past 2 days, I wrote 12,287 words. I'm gonna be real, I'm feeling impressed with myself. I knew I was going to get these words out. I knew these scenes so well in my head, I could not wait to read them. But I hadn't quite thought that was going to happen for a while. Like in the back of my head, I just kept thinking I was gonna pull like a Patrick Rothfuss or a George R.R. Martin. I would always be kind of working on it, but I actually feel like reaching this part of the tumble down moment in my book felt really good and really strong. Like it was the climax. I wrote the climax of my book this weekend, and it felt like the climax. It felt amazing. I'm not trying to be dirty here, but that felt great. Back to Tamora Pierce. I really love her books. I love how she walks through this world. Those books definitely helped build who I am. I didn't even know I was interested in writing as a child, except for that I loved those stories and I wanted to always have stories to tell, and I just remember making my own stories in my head. I didn't write them down. They weren't stories I wrote down. They were just imaginative stories I told myself, and that came from just building off of this world, just being able to completely immerse myself and realize I do not have to stay here. Her books showed me that I don't have to stay in reality, that I can leave it, because it was one of the most immersive experiences and I loved being there, which was part of what I wanted out of my books. The Tortall series is super sprawling, but it has limitations for me because it's not my world. I get to enter it, I get to visit it, I feel honored to be a part of it, but it's not mine. It has the limitations that aren't there for Tamora Pierce. Tamora Pierce can enter Tortall whenever she wants, but I can only enter Tortall so much as she's given us, which she's given us a lot. Getting to create my own world that feels just as real and just as genuine and earnest, interesting and sprawling, and it has like these flaws, but it also has things that make me feel comfortable in it, has just been so awesome. And I wouldn't have known it was possible if I hadn't have read those books and realized that I could be portaled somewhere else. I really wanted to try out her routine. I feel like I picked the perfect time to do it. I loved getting to know more about her and her writing style and how many things we have in common. I don't know. I think she comes as close as it gets to me as like a parasocial relationship where like when I finished my books, one of the first people I wanted to show it to was her. And I know that sounds silly because I'm saying it out loud and I think it sounds silly, but I did. I wanted to send her my book because I just wanted to be like, look what we did, because I'm parasocial. What's happening in my face? And yeah, knowing how much she cares about the world and that she tries to keep up to date and knowledgeable about how the world is going writing and what's going on, even if it's hard or difficult. I really appreciate, and I try and stay grounded in those areas too. And I feel really impacted, obviously by her, but also by getting to join in a routine that's helped create some of my favorite books. But yeah, I would say one of the main takeaways for this writing routine, to give yourself rewards because these are awesome feats. Don't just pay attention to the timer. Don't feel down on yourself if you're not getting your word count in for the day. Like, don't try and always just try and reach the goal. Set different goals for yourself, set realistic goals for yourself, and even if you're writing 2 pages a day, give yourself a little reward. Celebrate that because it's absolutely awesome. This routine worked for me today. I think I am definitely more of a morning writer overall now. She also said in one of her interviews that writers change, and she thought it was so interesting and that she's doing morning writing now more too. I think that's one of the takeaways of doing a writing routine that's not yours. Routines can change. Do what works for you. I am not a full-time author. I'm a full-time teacher who writes on the weekends and in those little pockets of time. Do what works for you and shake it up every once in a while to just see if something else works a different day. So try different things. But yeah, that's really all I have for today. I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. I'll have links to all of the different articles, both for Tamora Pierce and also all of the blogs and websites and places she frequents. So if you want to do this routine, fantastic. Let me know if you do this routine. I would love to watch other people's interpretation of this routine. The links to my book will also be down below, with the promise that a sequel is indeed coming out. If you're a Tamora Pierce fan, go ahead and let me know which book impacted you most down below. If you have yet to read a Tamora Pierce book, I highly recommend it. Clearly. But if you can't be bothered to share all of that, go ahead and leave a horse emoji for Dane of Wild Magic, because she speaks to animals and she has a horse named Cloud. But whether you do or not, I hope you're enjoying the sun or more stars wherever you are, and until next time, bye!